What's going on, Lotus Tribe? It's your girl Gal, your modern day philosopher and spiritual guide, here to assist you in showing up being the best version of yourself. So I hope all is well. I hope everyone is thriving and they living, feeling, smelling, looking good. I am coming to you all with the overall collective energy for October for the Lotus Tribe. See what it is that we need to reflect on, how we can continue showing up being the best version of ourselves. Doesn't being the best version of yourself sound good? If it sounds good to you, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe for plenty of more of where that came from. Let's get into it. I have been working on my womb. And baby, when I say one thing about it, and two things for sure, one thing I have always been is in tune with my womb. Like when I was a kid, when I was a teenager, I really wasn't sure what was going on. I always had like these horrible stomach pains. And then as I moved into my adulthood or, going in from your teen to like that 18, 19 kind of phase, it was recommended that I take birth control. I think it was around 16, 17. So don't get me to start telling those stories. But I was recommended to take birth control. So I started taking that, was very inconsistent with the pills, and the pain stopped. I was like, oh, thank the Lord. Nonetheless, I have become very, very natural or holistic. I absolutely do not take any birth control. And for those who do still take it, no knocks to you. I just do not find it comfortable. And I just don't want to put things in my body, especially with both my maternal mother and grandmother having cancer. I do personally believe that birth control contributes to that. However, before I get long winded and go into a rant, I've been taking the Dr. Sebi Estro. And when I tell you, my womb is like, ma'am, Pam, Tam, you got some stuff in us, and it's clearing house in there. Okay. Usually I can feel my womb so much before my cycle is coming, when I'm ovulating, like, and so right now it's a little intense. Um, but I welcome it so that I can flush out what's needed. I haven't been on it for more than a week, so we shall see. Again, that is just an example of me wanting to show up being the best version of myself, just being in tune, being more aware of my health. And, if you're not well or you don't have your health, ain't no wealth. So I've been really heavily stepping into that, understanding that Rome wasn't built in a day, it's progress. So let's see what we got for October. We got the Page of Wands. Okay. Looks like we taking action. We understand it. It takes small steps to get there. Let me get another card. Okay, we got the Ten of Swords. So it looks like we are moving from where we were in order to go where we're headed. And it looks like we are moving towards the King of Pentacles. So a couple of different things come to me. Page of Wands, I feel like we were playing small. There was a lot of doing ourselves disservice and the people around us equally a disservice. The Page of Wands, I feel as though we were in a place of just kind of staying at that. I wouldn't even call it a step, right? I would more so call it something like a tap. Not even a step, a tap. And for whatever reason, we could not find ourselves moving past this tap. And we were being a reflection of that. It was like we had this desire of wanting more and needing more and valuing more. However, we were stuck in our steps on how to get there. And so, to clarify that energy, we have the Seven of Wands. And so, what I'm seeing here is that it was due to hardships or trauma that we have experienced It can be, the Seven of Wands can be betrayal. It can be so many different things, but typically it frames itself around betrayal. And I don't think necessarily it was the essence of coming from betrayal, even though that can be very literal for some of us. I really truly feel it comes from a place of like all of those old wounds, those old traumas that have just been sitting there. It's like you have this big idea, but you're not able to move to the big idea, or move to this desire, or move to this alignment, or become the magician, what so have you, because of all the blockages and bondages that were at play. What else? Tell me more. Tell me more in regards to that seven. Yeah, and so a lot of our ideas and thought processes remains in our head. Like we were unable to get it into forward moving action. We weren't able to manifest it and bring it into the 3D. It just stayed here in our minds. And that's okay, right? Because sometimes you have to go through the process and learn the things that you need to learn in order to get there. But it looks like we were spiraling. We were spiraling. It's like, you have a calling and you're meant to be something. You're just not aware of how to get there. And the being so not aware of how to get there has blocked you. And so I see that has now a story of the past. Like it's not even a factor anymore. It's like that cycle has been complete. The cycle and the conflict of just trying to figure it out and figure out what steps need to be taken next, and releasing people and releasing certain things. It's like, okay, that's beyond us. We're past that. I feel like that is what we're moving past right now. Like there is no need for us to continue being in the space of lack, really. I see here that we have the Eight of Pentacles, and it's like, okay, I understand this. I get where I'm going. I know what I need to do, but now I have clarity. Not only am I being told by spirit what I need to do, now I have the clarity on how to move in the direction of which I need to move into. I can't control it, but I do know how I need to move forward in order to get here. So right now, it may be grind time. And although it may be an essence of resting or being in the solitude, it's heavy grind time. It's like, okay, it's time to get to it. It's time to do the thing. It's time to move forward and really step into purpose. And I said that as well. Like I got the star card. Yeah, it's like we know where we're going. We know the path now. We are clear on the path now, and we're cutting all of the things that don't belong. I mean, we are slicing it out. We are dropping it to the end. We are dropping it out the way. We are cutting it out the way. Rock, paper, scissors, swords, scissors. We cutting it out. Like it's not of us. We are no longer tolerating it. We are building boundaries. We are saying we are so much deserving of more. We are so much deserving of what we truly came here to experience. And so, with that being said, it seems as though we are putting in the work to move towards the desire. And it's inevitable. It's inevitable. It really truly is. Not only will we be financially abundant, but we will be in a space of being able to call into the things that we love easily, removing ourselves from blockages. If we're not saying affirmations, I highly recommend saying affirmations. I love affirmations. I know some people, as you get more experience with manifesting, they say, hey, affirmations don't matter. I am a firm believer of affirmations. For me, I am a very thought out person, and I typically live in my mind, which I have been learning how to move away from. However, I will say with affirmations, I have been able to really program my brain into wanting more, into releasing what no longer serves me. It is important though, since we're still at the beginning of our marathon. Well, we've been on a marathon, but since we're in the beginning of creating this thing, that we learn how to balance that. That is something that I get. And with balance, it's like it's guaranteed. I got the Ace of Pentacles. You know what I'm saying? It's guaranteed. It's like you're destined for greatness. It's just important that we do all of the crossing our T's and dotting our I's in this period. We're removing ourselves from social media, i.e., TikTok, Instagram, all of those things that we're spending mindless time doing. We're stopping watching mindless TV. We're really dedicating ourselves to the craft. We're really dedicating ourselves to the purpose here. So, what is unraveling and what I'm seeing in front of me, here's my stance on it. What no longer serves you, no longer serves you. You are in a place of inviting ease and joy into your life. And so, with inviting ease and joy into your life, you have to understand that you've also basically committed death to an old self. You're committing death to the person that you were, because in order for you to invite ease and joy into your life, you have to align with the version of who that is. And so the version of who you were can no longer exist. And so, in the process of becoming the version that you are, you have to understand that it is important to let certain things go, certain traumas, certain experiences, certain people. And that has been my message. Like, that has been my message. We gotta let people go. We gotta let people go. We gotta let people do their own things. We cannot control anybody. If you know where you headed and you know that you have a purpose and you know where you're destined to be, you have to be okay with letting certain people go along the way, because they may not fit into that picture, at least not yet anyway. And maybe they won't at all. But in order for you to even get to that destination, you have to relinquish that. And what not? Like, why not? You are more than deserving of that. You are more than capable of that. It's just that you're being so cluttered, or you were so cluttered by things that weren't serving you, or old beliefs or old paradigms. And it's just like, no, release that. And I know it feels like a struggle, and I know it feels like an uphill battle, but keep moving uphill. Don't give up. That's my advice. Don't give up. And I don't even like giving advice. That's from my experience. What I've learned is not giving up makes the difference. Not giving up makes a difference. When you read these books like Think Like a Man, oh no, I'm sorry, not Think Like a Man. I'm talking about Steve Harvey. I don't know what's going on right there. When you read the book, As a Man Thinketh, right? Rich and Go, Think and Grow Rich. There's another book by Earl Nightingale. I think it's called The Acres of Our Diamonds, or We're Standing in the Acres of Our Diamonds. Usually, when you read those type of books, you see stories in the books where people give up, like right at the tip of their desires. They give up. There was one story, and I'm not sure what book it was. I want to say it was Earl Nightingale. And one story he said in there, it was the man had owned and his family had owned a landmine. He bought all of this equipment for this landmine, or everything like that. He said, we're going to go find gold, right? They've been digging, found nothing. So then they decided to give up and they sold the gold. Well, not sold the gold. They sold the equipment. So the man who they sold the equipment to, guess what he did? He went back into the area and started digging. Guess what he found? The gold, right? So that goes back to say, we cannot allow our fears to get into the way, for real. Like, it's all mental. You can be anything that you want to be. Nobody has the right to tell you what you are incapable of becoming. You know who you are because it's within you, because you incarnated as that. Let me get some clarification cards here. Hey, I have nature. This is very interesting. And I have destruction. Both very interesting. And at the bottom, I have the warrior, okay? Because what I say, don't give up. You keep going. You got to keep going. You got to keep trucking forward. You got to keep moving forward. You can't allow people or things or circumstances or certain situations to stop you. And although you may be experiencing something where all the odds is against you, still don't give up. Still keep going. You got that inner strength. You got it. You got to harness in on that. You got to harness in on that. Yes, life may not be giving you what you would prefer, but it will. But it will. I bet if you keep showing up and doing the work, it will. Whether that's your relationship, whether that's your career, whether that is your nurturing, your mothering, whatever it is, it will. If you need to put shelter over your head and all you have is material to build a house, ain't nobody coming to build that house for you. You gonna give up? You gonna just decide, man, forget it. I'm just gonna be ranked on. No, you gonna keep going until you figure it out, until you find a solid foundation to where you could build upon and officially build you the house. And some of them days you may get ranked on because you ain't built the house yet. You may get ranked on. But is that gonna stop you from building shelter? No. Yesterday I got ranked on. Guess what? The other day I figured this out. The day before that I figured this out. Man, if I put this on top of this and I lay this down and then I put this on top of this, oh shit, I got something sturdy here. And that's what it takes. It take that. It's a never ending, always evolving process. It just depends on how courageous you are and how willing you are. We just got done with the Olympics. They did a two-part. You see all them people with like missing legs and missing arms. These people are setting world records. These people are athletes. 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 The world would have told them, oh no, you can't do that. Who can do what? Who you talking to? I'm of God. I'm capable of doing everything and anything that I put my mind to. Period. So we have destruction and we have nature. It is in your nature to be the best version of yourself. It is in your nature to be the best version of yourself. Even if that looks like everything around you is crumbling down. And I said what I said, and that's it. So what? So I have destruction and I have nature. I'm going to show y'all. I think I showed y'all these cards already. Look at that. Destruction, right? I'm evolving. Like to me, I don't even look at this as destruction. Like, oh my gosh, it alarms me. It gives me haste energy. No, what I feel is I am evolving into a butterfly. I'm evolving into the butterfly. It's the eyes of the beholder. Nature. Come on now. It's time to tune in, tap in, and align. Nature. Might need to get back into the earth. Might need to do some grounding. May need to hug a tree. It's all up to you. I know that root chakra needs to be worked on though. So let's get it done. Nature has a profound effect on our well-being. It increases creativity, relieves depression and anxiety, improves memory and focus, and rewires our stress response hormones. Studies have shown that even looking at photographs of nature can be a benefit. If you live in a place where you can easily access nature, spend some time this week to get out there. If you do not, think of some creative ways you can interact with nature from where you are. Whether that is sourcing local vegetables, plant medicine, or even spending time in the park. You can also create an altar using natural materials, stick, leaves, grasses, flowers, dirt, rocks, sand, and however you feel. Come on now. Hemlock is one of the few trees that grows out of a nurse log. A nurse log is a decaying trunk of a fallen tree that provides a home for a new tree to grow. And according to some studies, the nurse often provides better resources for the new plant than the forest floor does. In this way, Hemlock teaches us how to find our specific needs. Nature provides nutrients for us, but what specifically about it? Sitting near water will bring out completely different things than sitting in the base of a tree. Hemlock tells us not to treat the natural world as a monolith and consider developing deeper relationships with various aspects of it. So, this is a healing card. Here's why I say that this is a healing card and this is indication of healing taking place. Remember when I said earlier in the beginning of this, hey, I'm taking Dr. Sebi's estro pills, fully made of herbs. I'm drinking herbal tea right now. That is what I was sipping on, I am in the space of healing my body. I'm healing my body in order for me to help heal my mind, which in turn will help me heal traumas. It is important, again, that we take back the reins of our life and we do what is required of us. We have to stop settling for less, living in a frequency of lack. It is non existent here. When you think of lack, you will receive lack. When you think of abundance, you will receive abundance. And so I say all of that to say, in this destruction, find your time of solitude, continue to work hard on yourself, on yourself, so that at the end of this season, you can walk into the new season with some real fruits to enjoy. Okay? Last card I'm going to read. Destruction. We may have just came out of a volcanic phase in our life, everything erupting. This card indicates that the choice must be made. It asks you what needs to die today. Maybe it is a limiting belief or an old inherited pattern or a toxic relationship. Whatever it is time to let go. Sometimes once we identify what needs to go, it slips easily from us. Oftentimes, it is a slow cycle of releasing and then loosening the grip of our attachments. Be kind to yourself in the process. We establish attachment to things that do not serve us, but knowing something doesn't serve us does not mean it is easy to let go. I believe I said something like be easy with yourself, give yourself grace, especially if it has become a part of our identity. This process requires patience, practice, and self compassion. Again, I think it's a time where we are in the moments of practice in solitude. We are true warriors. Don't let nobody tell you different. Look at where you came from and look at where you are. You wouldn't be able to be here if you weren't aware of where you came from. And that's just what it is. And you have to be willing to let go of the people who do not serve you. You have to be willing to let go of the habits that do not serve you. And I'm not saying that it's going to be easy, but I am saying that it is necessary. So that's our collective energy for the month of October. I will see you in the next one when we do our mid-month for October. Sending you so much love and light, tribe. Yeah.